Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a Christmas, well, it's plaid with some Christmas colors in it. This is inspired off of a Scottish plaid tartan. That's what we're gonna do. I've already painted the rest of my nails. We're just gonna focus on this one today. So let's get started. If you want to see how I did the pine cone design, go ahead and check out the video that I uploaded previous to this one. It explains in detail how I did this. So for the base that I have here, I've got 2 coats of Roxanne from the Lac-it brand, and I'm going to use Olive Branch from Lac-it and Was from Modelones. And I'm starting with Olive Branch, which is a warm kind of army green, and I'm just gonna put a good blob of that on my thumb. This is gonna be kind of my makeshift palette. As you can see, when you take out the stripes, there's a bit of a checker design. You can see it really well on this guy, how there's blocks of green and blocks of blue. I obviously don't have room to do this entire design, but I'm gonna try and do this design here, this block with the green above it. I'm gonna take my green, paint a right angle here, and then I'm going to draw the third side of the square, but I'm going to kind of split this in half here, and then I'm going to fill in this rectangle that I just made. So I've done this several times as practice rounds, kind of, and found that the best way to do, especially when you're trying to replicate a specific plaid pattern, the best way to go about it is to break it down into the different shapes. And don't worry about the parts where the colors overlap. I'm not worrying about that right now. I'm just focusing on the shapes. Right here, it's like a long rectangle. When you take out the blue and you fill that in with green, it's like a long green rectangle. Right now, we're building that rectangle. I'm gonna bring this all the way down. There's kind of a notch right here of green that comes down, and the rest of it is filled in with blue. So I'm going to create that notch just by thickening this line, just like that. Okay, and then the next part that I'm going to do is this really skinny rectangle that's the same length as the rectangle we just made, and it's the same thickness as this guy. So I'm just going over, making sure there's plenty of space. And all I really do is just draw a line and then make the line thicker. I don't really focus on like making a rectangle and then filling it in when it's a shape this small. And then I'll go in and perfect the corners. Oh, I'm really shaky. Relax. Then there's another rectangle that's the width of the original one that we made, just above it. And I gotta turn around so I can see this guy. And then, if you imagine these 2 lines meeting up, there's a little square right there. Okay, and I'm going to cure this just to make sure it looks okay. Now, I'm going to go on and just continue this design on the other side. You kind of have to imagine it falling off of the nail. There's definitely not enough room to complete the repeated pattern. And then just like down here, we're gonna do a line. And I think the key to making this look as realistic as you can is maintaining the width of the lines. Okay, I'm gonna flash cure that. We are going to do the stripes that go along the nail. Envision this as like, these are stripes coming across the nail, right? A thick stripe, a thin stripe, and then a thick stripe going horizontally across the nail, and then two thin stripes going vertically. And wherever those stripes are, we want to do a diagonal pattern to continue them to the edge of the nail. So right now I'm finishing off this one, and I'm just filling in the pattern for the rest of the stripe. And I'm just going to do that for the other ones. I've done the horizontal ones. Now I'm going to do the vertical ones, these two that are coming across. And with this one, I'm being careful to only keep the width of this line here and not be tempted to fill in this whole gap. Okay, now I'm gonna go into blue, and I'm going to first fill in the squares. Well, it's just gonna be one square because the nail is so small. And then we will go on to the stripes. And I'm using this as an opportunity to really perfect that edge. Make sure that the green and blue touch. Going in with my blue, and I'm doing the same thing, but because there's only one thing of blue, I'm just going to do a stripe this way and then a stripe this way. I'm going to imagine a stripe this way and a stripe this way, and just fill in the stripe pattern as I go. Just like that. I think we're ready for a top coat. For my top coat, I'm going in with KUPA Gelfinity. So far my favorite top coat out of the 3 that I own. Don't have a ton, but tried 3 different brands and this is my favorite so far. Now this would also look so delicious with a matte finish. I'm doing mine shiny, both to match the design on the other nails that I have, but also I think the red, shiny red, oh, it's just so yummy. But a matte finish would definitely make this feel more like an actual tartan pattern, you know what I mean? All right, let's cure that for a full minute. There is my Scottish plaid tartan design for Christmas to go with these beautiful Christmas nails. Again, if you haven't watched this video where I talk about the pine cones, it's a really good one. The design is super pretty. Go ahead and watch that. And I hope you all have a happy holidays. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.